Good morning, friends and family. It's a lovely day. As you can tell, the pool is leaking again. There's something wrong with this kind of pool. No matter how many you try, the side always gives way, no matter how much water's in it or how much air is in it. I have got to find a good one. Makes me upset because we spent all that money and then we had to return it. And look at that. I want to bring attention to those of you that may not know. There's something I had no idea existed. It's called toxic squash syndrome, and it can be fatal. I've been growing squash for years and I've never heard of it. Apparently it's rare, but it can occur. Not only in home gardens, but in store-bought squash, watermelons, cucumbers, and pumpkins. And it's, from what I can find, which there's very little on the internet, it can cause hair loss, vomiting, diarrhea. It can swell your internal organs, even though they say it's very rare. It's caused by some kind of chemical that melons produce to protect themselves from predators. They say it's rare, but the only way that you can tell, they said, if you get a squash or a melon, taste a tiny bit of it. If it's bitter, spit it out. Do not swallow it and rinse your mouth. And then pull that plant. It's caused by cross-contamination or seed saving, and the seeds have been cross-contaminated with another melon. It's very concerning to me. I'd never heard of it, so I wanted to bring it to those of you that may not have heard it either. We need to be aware of this. I love squash. There are 2 cases of women, I believe they were in the UK, I can't remember, that got very sick from eating, I believe it was a pumpkin stew. They didn't die, but they were sick for over 6 months, and even 6 months later, their hair barely returned. They were sick with stomach aches, and I believe their pancreas swelled, and they vomited and had diarrhea and were extremely sick and admitted into the hospital. There's one case, it wasn't here in the U.S., of a man that ingested a stew that had a zucchini in it that was contaminated, and it proved fatal in his case. He died. And the only thing we can do, guys, is when you harvest your squash, sample a very small piece, and if it's bitter to the point, so bitter that you have to spit it out, rinse your mouth, and pull the plant. It's poisonous. This is very concerning to me. I never knew such a thing existed. And I have tons and tons of squash plants. I just wanted to make you aware in the event that you don't know, because I sure wasn't aware of this. Never heard of it before. And there is very little. If you try to do research, you won't find very much. Anyway, I love you guys. Back later.